The main difference that I found was that when you're here in America, you work while you go to school, right? In Kenya, if you're a student, so I started in KU, Kenyatta University, and I was like, why do I keep getting very low points? And I know that I'm doing well on the test.
Hey guys, this is Nick from L and Nick, and this is L, of course. And today we are going to go through L's educational background. We've been looking into your comments, and most of you have been asking to know what we do and what kind of work each of us is doing based on the videos that we've been shooting. So L is here today, and we want to know more about her. Don't you guys want to know who L is and what she does? So hi Elle.
Hi.
Welcome to our channel.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, she's so happy.
Very happy
Look at
to
her.
be here.
So today we are going to ask you questions to know where you're from, like in terms of educational background, and just know what you've been doing, what you're doing currently, or if you've decided not to do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because most people change their minds during the weekend. And
during the weekend?
Yeah,
I'm
so
not doing it
come
right
Monday,
now
they've changed and now they are engineers. They're no longer teachers. So
okay.
So I'm going to start by asking you about your background, like university. What did you study in school?
So after I finished high school, I joined KU. That's Kenyatta University in Kenya, and I did 2 years there. I didn't finish my KU education. I didn't finish my KU degree, was in economics. And I also was doing some CPA courses, which I also didn't finish because I moved to the US. Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, that was the Kenya part.
So you did economics?
I did, yes. But
so
I mean, I can't, no.
So can we call you an accountant, a semi-accountant?
No, because I didn't graduate or anything. I just did like CPA 1 and 2, and I did first and second year of university, and then I left.
So when you came to the US, what did you do?
So when I came to the US, I was a bit confused on what to do, because I was like, do I continue with my economics and accounting journey, or do I start over? And you know, everyone's like, okay, you need to do healthcare. And I was like, what is this healthcare about? And you know, it was just a confusing time. But I decided to start college anyway, because I knew I wanted to still pursue an education. And when I started my college, community college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, even like degree wise, or if I wanted to further my education. I just started like taking classes. And so I took classes at the community college for 2 years. And then at that point, I had to decide like what degree I wanted to pursue, because I was still going back and forth between like economics, accounting, and like pursuing healthcare.
So before you go on, what were you doing in the community college?
Just like the general classes that you take in the first 2 years of your university. So basically, it was mostly a repeat of the classes that I had already done
in Kenya.
In Kenya, because like the first 2 years, mostly it's like general classes, and then when you go into your third and fourth year, that's when you specialize into your degree. But the problem was I didn't get my transcripts from Kenya, so none of my work transferred here, so I had to start over. So for the first 2 years, I was just doing the classes that I knew I needed to do without even knowing like what degree I'm going to be pursuing.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting, because mostly in Kenya, when you get into university, you're already on a course to know to an end. Like, you know, when you're starting first year, second year, you're going to be an IT professional. When you start, you're going to be a marketer, an engineer.
Yeah.
But for the US, that's not the case. You can start with general subjects, then move on to other things.
Yeah, you don't have to. In the US, you don't have to specialize. You don't have to declare a major until you're like going into your third year. Yeah, so that's I guess that's one of the differences, that you can just start taking classes and then you figure out what you want to do later.
Okay, so 2 years is over in community college.
Yeah.
What happened?
So then I had to, because you can only do 2 years in community college and get your associate's degree. No, you can only do 2 years in community college and then transfer to university. Some community colleges, though, they have 4-year programs, but that's not very common. So when you're transferring into a 4-year university, you have to know, if you're going there during your 3rd year, you have to declare a major. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do before, but then I really was researching within these 2 years, what degree do I think I want to go into, what field do I think is going to be interesting for me, what am I more likely to enjoy, what kind of a career will give me a good job, a well-paying job. And so I decided I'm going to pursue psychology.
Before we start with psychology, you said you had 2 years, then in the university you have 4 years. So in total, do you do 6 years?
No. The college is 2 years, and if you transfer to the university, if you've already done your 2 years in community college, you can transfer those credits into your 4-year university. So you go and join as a 3rd year.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I transferred into Washington State University as a 3rd year student.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Psychology.
Yeah. So I decided I'm going to do psychology because I am so interested in people, and I like, talking about issues and learning people's minds and just understanding how people operate in general. So yeah, I declared that as my major and I joined Washington State University. And yeah, it was really, really interesting. I actually enjoyed my classes and the work that I did there. And, just pursuing the degree was great for me. I felt like I made the right choice for myself. And yeah, I was able to finish it in another 2 years and I graduated. But towards the end of my schooling, I was wondering, is that where I wanted to stop? Or did I want to pursue further education? I was also again in that space of what else am I gonna do? So yeah, I started thinking now about furthering my education further beyond the bachelor's degree.
So here you are, you get your bachelor's degree. Did you graduate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated.
Guys, we know people out there who do all these years in the university and they don't graduate. So we just need to ask if you graduated.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
And people who go to universities and people believe that they graduated and they didn't.
They never did.
Yeah,
I graduated in 2015 with a bachelor's in psychology. So yeah.
So I'm actually very interested. Oh, first of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So I wanted to know, during this period, were you funding your own education at this point of you having a bachelor's degree?
So most of my undergraduate education was paid for through scholarships. I got grants. I think throughout my college, the first 2 years, I got grants throughout. So that was paid for by the government. And then some of my education, 3rd and 4th year, some of it I got scholarships through the university that I was going to, and I took just a little bit of loan, just maybe a few, just not a lot of money, just a little bit to push me to finish all my classes. So most of my undergraduate education was paid for through either grants or scholarships in the school or just outside scholarships. I would apply for them and, $100,000 here, $3,000 there, and that kind of a thing. So
you got your degree. Did you practice it? Did you go to work or do anything with it?
Yeah, I actually did. So I had a gap between the time that I graduated and the time that I continued my education, about a few months there, and I actually got to practice. I was working as a case manager for a certain agency that was providing home health for seniors. So I would manage the clients that we had, and it was actually really, really fun for me. I enjoyed that job very much. I would just go to the office and do office work, but it was like half and half, going to the field seeing the clients, going to their homes, making sure that they're getting the care that they need to, doing some incoming interviews, just meeting with the clients ahead of time to know what their needs are going to be. And then just when they get on board with us, making sure I'm matching them with the caregiver that can provide those services that they need. And then also going back to check that they're actually getting what they should be getting. And it was good. I really liked it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what was maybe your biggest challenge while you were pursuing this degree? Now here you are, you came from economics, you are now in psychology. Was it difficult for you, like switching from being an accountant to being a psychologist?
First of all, I was not an accountant yet. I was pursuing.
You were pursuing.
Yeah.
By the time you set your mind that you're now going to be an accountant, you pursue this degree, you are 2 years in.
Yeah.
There's something that has already switched in your mind.
I know.
So here you are, now again, you're switching to be a psychologist.
Yeah.
Were you seeing the market for it in the US, or what really drove you to psychology?
So when I was a little bit sad to leave economics and accounting behind, because that's something I really love. I love math, and I was doing well with it. But I also discovered that I actually enjoyed psychology very much. So I didn't have a lot of challenges in terms of the education part, because I was enjoying my classes, I was enjoying the projects that I was doing, I was enjoying what I was learning. So it wasn't too challenging. I was a little bit sad about the 2 years that I lost, quote unquote, because it was years that I'm never gonna get back. That was work that I had put in, and it was gone basically. So I was sad about that. But other than that, the challenges would be like now learning a new education system, right? Because things work differently from how it was in Kenya. The main difference that I found was that when you're here in America, you work while you go to school, right? In Kenya, if you're a student, for most people, I know some people work while they're in school, and things are different now, so maybe most people do that. But like when I was going to school, that's all I was doing. I didn't have to worry about a job or like have to juggle between working and going to school. And then I came to America and I was working and going to school at the same time, so that was quite an adjustment. And then just learning how to juggle, like in Kenya, when you decide, like you were saying, like when you decide to pursue like a certain career, a certain degree, all the classes are pre-arranged for you, right? Like you already know, first year I'm gonna take these classes, second year I'm gonna take these classes, and so on and so forth. In America, you are left to your own devices. Like you decide what classes you're gonna pick. You decide what major you're gonna be. Like you just decide for yourself. So it's difficult, like trying to understand, okay. And then they work with the credit system over here. So like classes are, like some classes are like 3 credits, others are 4 credits, others are 5 credits. And you need so many credits in one semester, and to graduate you need so many credits. So it's a whole different system. So to understand how that works and to also like plan for yourself, that was an adjustment that I had to make. So that was a little bit challenging. Good thing they have counselors that can help you, but it still takes some time for you to understand. And also it depends on your counselor, like who you have. If they're a good person and they're not like thinking you cannot do it or whatever, they're not prejudiced at all, then it's okay. But some of them just can look at you and just not be very friendly or encouraging. So it depends.
Before we move on, I would like to know, what differences did you feel like was so impactful that you felt between Kenyan university and American university, that you could feel like, boom, this is very different? Apart from maybe the way you are selecting your own courses, like what was so different?
I think the biggest difference, and I think I've mentioned it a little bit, is just the fact that you're left, you have the option to choose any major. In Kenya, like when you finish your high school and you get whatever grade you get, that basically like dictates what degree you're gonna pursue. It doesn't put into account like your passion. It doesn't put into account like what you actually would like to do for yourself. Like your own choice is removed from that decision, right? It basically boils down to the grade that you have. But like in America, you basically choose what degree you want to pursue.
Something else, were there challenges? Maybe the way the teacher talks, the way people talk, the way assignments are done, maybe commute, like, are there like challenges that you felt like were challenges to you?
Oh yeah. Okay, so definitely the English was a little bit of a problem. Not that my English is bad, or English that we speak in Kenya is bad, but it's just the way, if you're taking an English class in America, like there are things that are going to be different. So I have a story. When I was starting out, because they do this, if you're just coming from wherever and they just want to know where to place you, there is something called placement test. So this placement test, you just take it, and then the how you perform on that placement test determines what class you're gonna be put into. Like when it comes to math, there's like math, let's say 101, 102, 103, 104, right? So depending on how you perform on that math placement test, if you do well, you can start from like, let's say math 104 or math 105, as opposed to like if you don't do very well, maybe they're gonna start from math 101. You understand? So the same for English. So I would do this English placement test and I kept getting very low points. And I was like, why do I keep getting very low points? And I know that I'm doing well on the test. But like some of the things on there, I would answer them like in the British way, and that's not how like the American way works. And so I would keep getting them wrong. But like I actually knew what I was doing. So I went to one of the instructors and I was like, I keep getting this wrong, but I think like it's correct. And they were like, oh no, in here, like you should say it like this, and you should do it like this, and this is how you think about it. So that's just a random story. So I ended up doing it the American way, I guess, and I got placed where I thought I would be placed. And yeah, that's where I started from.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and when it comes to assignments, it's very different. Oh, a major difference that I saw was like exams, because I think exams in Kenya, I was used to like the ABCD system in primary, but when you go to secondary school, high school, you no longer get like ABCD, right? Yeah, so in university here there is like ABCD choices, and I was like, oh my God, this is nice.
Please, we ask all governments to bring multiple choices to exams, because it will save a lot of stress.
A lot of stress and time.
And bad handwriting too.
Bad handwriting?
Yeah, because some of the questions, someone just misses to get the marks because the teacher couldn't read your handwriting. So they are looking at your handwriting and they're like, I don't think they said apply. They said a lie.
Right. So I mean, that was something that was really nice to find, because then it makes it easy. Like your answer is in front of you. You just have to pick the right one, right? So that I enjoyed that part.
So here you are. You've graduated. Now, are you a psychologist right now?
I mean, I have a degree in psychology. I don't know if that qualifies me to be a psychologist, because I think you...
Or maybe are there exams that are supposed to be done?
Yeah, I think to be a psychologist, you probably need to further your education in psychology and then maybe do an exam or something like that. But I do have a degree in psychology. So if you guys have problems and questions, and
put them in the comment section.
No, send them to our DM.
We have a psychologist for free.
I mean, you know, I don't mind helping if I can, but we'll see if this becomes a regular thing.
And if you feel there's some worth to what she's giving you, maybe she'll start charging.
Oh gosh, I don't know. So just you know, I like to share. So, and
you had it. Get into her DM and ask her questions that are psychology related. Now you've graduated. You have a bachelor's degree. you've done your first job. What proceeded after that?
Oh yeah, so while I was still in school, like my fourth year, my last year, I was debating, like I told you, is this where I want to stop? Do I want to proceed? Like what else can I do? So I had lots of different choices. Like I was thinking to proceed with psychology, like get a master's or something. I also thought about other options. You know, I went back and forth, and eventually I landed on pharmacy.
How long did it take you to choose pharmacy?
How long?
Now, between you having the psychology degree and you now thinking of pharmacy.
Oh yeah, actually I decided I wanted to pursue pharmacy school. Between that and fourth year of undergrad, I decided that I want to pursue pharmacy.
Pharmacy isn't easy, right?
No, it's not.
Take us through the journey. Were you discriminated now that you came from Africa? Is there a time that you reached and you're like, I think I made a mistake and I need to go back because this is too hard for me?
Guys, pharmacy school was hard, okay? It was hard. It's very different because you're trying to cram names that you've never had before. I passed all my classes. I passed all of those external internships and I graduated with a Doctor of Pharmacy degree. So like, share and subscribe guys, and watch out for our next video. Love you.